Let us go back to the story. We will try to understand how to use Apex classes, within the within the Visual Force. So before we get into how to access the Apex classes within the Visual Force, why we need Apex classes, we'll understand. Till now, whatever the examples we have done, all the examples are dealing with the data which is there in the database, and we are using standard controllers to access the data. Like we got input field to access a particular record, output field to display a particular record. We are straight away referring to the data from a particular standard controller and displaying or saving the data. We are referring to particular record, we are referring to particular S object, we are trying to access the data from that S object, or we are trying to insert the data into S object. We are going to insert the data into S object, or we are going to fetch the data from S object. Before we do that, we want to know what are the other components what we have. When we need to, when can I go with the custom components? When can I go with creating my own input components? I don't want to refer to the data from S object. I want to create my own registration form. I don't want to refer to the data from any particular S object. I want to create my own custom registration form. Then I don't have any table. If I have a table, I will have input field, I will have output field. But I don't want to refer the data from a particular table. I want to create a custom registration form. In that case, I will go with the other input components what we have. Input field, output field are available only to refer to a particular S object. Only when we are referring to the data from a particular S object, we will have input field and output field. Again I repeat, we will have the concept of input field, output field only when you are trying to refer to the data from particular S object. When you are trying to refer to the data from particular S object, then only we go with input field. Other than a particular S object, if you want to have any other option, what we do here was, we go with input fields, input text area, output text, okay, input checkbox, pick list, all these concepts will come into the picture. Again I repeat, if you are trying to refer to data from any one of the S object, we use a concept of input field, we use a concept of output field. But I am not trying to refer to the data from any S object. I was trying to create a particular form where I want to enter my own data. In that case, we have a component called input text area, okay, then input checkbox, input text area, then we have select options, select radios, select checkboxes, select secret, all these type of components we have. Let me start one by one. I am going with Apex input text. Apex form. First component I was trying to take. input text, basic component, input text. Have a quick. We got input text as a text box. I will try to give so we are going with the first one, input text box we are getting. When you getting the text box, I want to say direction. Direction. Then I was giving input text where I was giving dir, rt, right to left. So we are going to take input text here, direction. So we want to take the data in the right to left format. Right to left format. Right, boss. Now we are trying to take the direction right to left. The next we had disable. Disable. The moment I say disable, what will happen? Disable equal to true. So when I say disable, input text is visible to you, but it is in the disable mode. Input text, direction, disable. You can see the box, but it is in the disable mode. You can see the box, but it is in the disable mode. Then we have rendered. Rendered. When I say rendered, it is not going to be displayed. Disable you can see, but it's in the disable mode. Rendered equal to false, you cannot see the box itself. Rendered equal to false, you cannot see the box itself. I hope you are good. Rendered equal to false. Then I have max length. I told max length. Max length. Five. Now it's closed. Maximum length of the data is 5 characters. Then we have size. Size. So size will specify size equal to 5. So you have got length of the box is taken as 5. Max length, maximum length of the data, size, this will specify size of the box. Okay. So here we have max length. This will specify This will specify length of the data. Right. This is how we apply. Next we have background color. You want to apply some CSS and you want to apply. So here we have style. Then we applied some style here. Right, boss? So text, direction, disabled, rendered, max length of the data, size of the data, CSS. Right. Now again, we have asked, if you want to make the field as required, we can make the field as required. If you want to make the field as required, we can make the field as required here. So how can you make it required? Here we have. When you say required, you won't get the red mark. But when you submit the form, without entering the data, without entering this data, if you enter, it throws error. Now when you say required, it won't show that red mark. Generally in the Salesforce standard UI, when you say required, you get that red mark, right? But here you don't get that red mark. But when you submit the form, without entering the data, it throws an error message. When you submit the form without entering the data, it throws error message. I hope you are good with this. So all these are what? Properties. All these are properties that are defined by the Salesforce. So what is that? Input text, direction, disabled, rendered, max length, size, CSS style, required. I hope you are good with this. Right? So now, is it referring to a field in the table? No, you can refer to anything. We can refer to a variable in the Apex class. It can refer to a field in the particular table. When you say input field, it can only refer to input field. It can only refer to input field. It can only refer to input field. It can only refer to a field of an S object. Input text is not like that. It can refer to a field of an S object, or it can also refer to a variable in the Apex class. Using input text, I can refer to field in the Apex class, field in the S object, or a variable in the Apex class. Input field can only refer to field of an S object. Whereas the input text, it can refer to field or variable of an Apex class. Right. So whenever you want to refer any data from a Apex class, whenever you want to send any data from the VF page to Apex class, we use input text. Right, Amma? Okay. We have done this. Now, at the same time, I have the next concept. What was that? Input checkbox we already see. What is the next concept we had? Input text area. What is the next concept we had? Input text area. I hope this input text is clear, right? So let us go to input text area. When I say input text area, why you are taking? If you want to take the data in multiple lines, we go with the input text area. If you want to take the data in multiple lines, we'll go with input text area. Now let us see how we can define it. Input text area. Sorry. Input text area, rows equal to 5. Now, number of rows. Here by default 3, here is 5. 2. By default 2, we are getting here as 5. Now let us go to the next part of the story. Columns. How many columns? Number of rows, number of. I hope you are good. Right now. So basically, we are trying to specify how many rows, how many columns, and input text area. If when you want to take the data in multiple rows and multiple columns, then we go with input text area. I hope you are good with this. Input text area. Properties are clear? Okay. Then let us go back to the next one. Input secret. Input secret and input hidden. I'll just finish off that here. Input secret. This is how we got it. Input secret. When you want to take an input secret, like a password like that, we take input secret. Then we have input hidden. Input hidden. Input hidden means it is there on the page. It is there on the page, but you can't see it. Using a scripting, you can read it, you can set it. Using scripting, you can read the value, you can set the value, but you cannot see it. If you want some data to be used at the backend, should not be visible to the user, then we take it as input hidden. Data should be there on the page, but that should not be displayed to user, but we should use the data for internal purpose. So we can take input hidden. So input text, input secret, input hidden, input text area, input checkbox. So these are the some of the input components that we have seen. Input text, input secret, input hidden, input text, input secret, input text, input secret, input hidden, okay, input text area and input checkbox. I hope you are good with this. Clear for everyone? Clear for everyone? Right. Now, we have the next option as creating. We have the next option as creating pick list, and checkboxes. Now let me give you a quick example here. Basically, to demonstrate, I need an Apex class. Only for the purpose I am taking the Apex class. We'll see that Apex class later, but only for the sake of demonstrating the let us take an example. This topic is not covered, only for showing this functionality I am taking this. I will be covering the class later. This is not yet covered. section header title. Right. First one I am creating Apex select list. Select list is used to create a pick list. Select list is used to create a pick list. In the pick list, what will be there? Options will be there, right? Like Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai, none. Options will be there. Select list is what? It is used to create pick list. Select list is used to create pick list. In the pick list, how do you create an option? Each option we are going to create like this. Select option. Select option is an option. In the option, what will be there? Item label. Whatever I give it as item label, that will be displayed on the page. In the pick list, when you click on the pick list, drop down list will come. Hyderabad, Bangalore. If you want to display Hyderabad, item label Hyderabad. You want to display Bangalore, item label Bangalore. Item label is what you want to display in the pick list. Item value. When I select that label, what is the value we are going to get? Now let me give you select. So Hyderabad will be displayed. When I select Hyderabad, what is the value we are going to get? TG. Label. Label will be displayed. When you select that label, what is the value we are going to get? Like this thing. I'll give first, let me show this output. Have a preview. So we're getting none, Hyderabad, Bangalore. What are these? None, Hyderabad, Bangalore. So whatever I gave as item labels, they are displayed to you as an option. Whatever I gave as a item labels, they are displayed here like an options. Okay. Now I made sales. Okay. Now when I select this label, what is the value we are going to get? None. Where is that none value stored? When you select a label, you are getting a value. That value should be stored somewhere. That's what I gave. Value equal to. Basically, it is a variable from Apex class. Whatever the label I selected, that value is stored to this variable. If I select Hyderabad, what is the value of selected? If I select Bangalore, value is. So whichever the label we have selected, the corresponding value will be. Where is that value stored? In this way. Are you getting my point? Item label, item value. Whichever the label we selected, corresponding value will come. That is stored to this. Now, let me give you a quick example. Only to tell you the purpose of item value, I have taken this example. In the pick list, you are giving item label, item value. Now, what are getting displayed here? What are these? What are these? In the select option, whatever I gave as item label, they are displayed here. When I select Hyderabad, what is the value we are getting? So, when you select the label, you are going to get a value. Whatever you give as item value, that we are going to get. That item value will be stored to a variable in the Apex class. From there, I run my logic. Right now, I am just showing you what is the purpose of item label, item value. Item label will be displayed in the pick list option. When I select the label, when I submit the button, we are going to get the corresponding item value. Label, these are displayed like this. When I select the label, what is the value I have to give you? It's called item value. Item label, item value. Item label, item value. I hope you are good with this. People have followed here? Okay. So there is a purpose of item label and item value. Item labels are used for displaying the option. Item value is when you select the option, what is the value I have to give you is given as item value. Item disabled. I gave item disabled. You can see the option, but the option is disabled. You can see the option, but the option is disabled. Now you want to show the option, but you want to show it in the disabled mode. We'll use this. I hope you are good with this. Clear for everyone? So let me take from beginning now. Okay. So what was that? Select option. How you create it? Apex select list. Item label. Item value. This is how I create. So basically, when I say select list, group of options are displayed. Select list. Go back and see. Pick list is created. Select list, pick list is created. But what is happening here? All the options are getting displayed. Now I want to show only one option at a time. If you want to show only one option at a time, subtitle, description. This will specify how many rows should be displayed. This will specify how many rows should be displayed. So we are giving here size equal to 1. This will specify how many rows should be displayed. Now we are giving only one row. Then I have next one. So here we have size, done, style. You have taken a style. So we are giving size 1. Width. Just to increase the size of the pick list. Now by default it will take the length of the data. I want to increase the size, so we have taken a style. Similarly we have next. So here we had
Hello.
yes, Mo.
Satish, both are seems to be select list and select option only, but how it differs displaying one is with
Now I gave the size. No, I gave size. Here I have not given the size here.
okay.
I gave size. I have not given size. If you don't give the size, number of rows will be displayed. If I give the size based on the value what you mentioned, that will be given. Right, boss? Then next we had value. This will specify. When you say value, I cannot show it here. Apex class I have to take. So let me take. Value. This will specify the name of the variable, in which selected item value description. So we are giving here value equal to so we are giving here selected. When I say value equal to name of the variable in which we want to store it. When I select this, in which variable you want to store it. Right. When I select this, in which variable we want to store it. I'll give you an example here. Apex command button. Right. Let us go back to the next story. Right now. So all this select option is what? To create an option. Select option is for what? To create a option. Everyone has got the story here. Pick list. If you give a size, we are getting a size. Style to increase the width. Now we are giving here. When I select the label, we are going to get the corresponding value. Label is selected, corresponding item value will come. I hope you are good with this. The next, we want to give disabled. This will disable the option. It is. What is the value you have? Select option. Then we have here item disabled. Right. I hope everyone has followed this concept here. Item disabled equal to true. So we got the option here. The first option I have is disabled. People have followed this concept here. So select list. It is used to create a pick list. Now how do you create an options? Select option, item label, item value. What is that item label? Whatever I give it as item label, that will be displayed like an option. When I select that item label, what is the value I have to give you is given as item value. Item label, item value. When you display, what is the option we want to display is the item label. When I display, what is the option I want to display? It's item label. Right. When I display, what is the option we want to display? It is the item label. Once it is displayed, okay, when I select the option, what is the value we are going to get? When I select it, what is the value we are going to get? That value is what? When I select what is the value we are going to get, the value is given as item value. Item label, item value. Item label, item value. Item label, item value. Item label and item value. I hope you are good with this. Item label, item value. I hope you are good. Okay. Then, pick list is clear for everyone? Everyone is clear with this pick list? Select, list, select, option. Select, list, select, option. Select option is for creating option. Select list is what? Pick list. Select list is what? Pick list. Clear, boss? Everyone is clear with this? Then we had a select radio and check boxes. Radio. Select radio. Radio. Some values I am giving here. You want to display whatever the option you want, you display it. Now select radio. Select radio. What was that? We are getting a radio buttons. When you say radio button, only one option can be selected at a time. Only one option can be selected at a time. Radios. Select radio. Only one option can be selected at a time. The same story I am giving as check boxes. Now instead of radio, I will take so we have taken this select check boxes. Now let us go back and see. This is how we are creating. Input check boxes. Right, Amma? So only select list will give pick list, select radio will give radio buttons, select check boxes will give group of check boxes. The way we are creating the option is not changing. The way we are creating the option is not changing. In all the three cases, options are created by using select option only. But the only thing is, on the top if you keep select list, then it is a pick list. Select radio, radio buttons. Select check boxes, they will be giving a check boxes here. I hope you are good. Clear for everyone? Right. Now, let us go back to the next choice. We want to use all of them and I want to display it. Now, look at the context. Listen carefully. Now, we want to use all of these and make an example. Now I was giving Apex form, Apex page block, student. I was taking Apex page block, Apex page block section, output label, value equal to name, Apex input text, my intention is I want to take name image. My intention is output label, name, input text. Beside the name I want a text. If you go to this, have a preview. Now what is happening? We are getting the data very good. It's also aligned very good. But the problem is label is coming at one corner, box is coming at one corner. Why? When I give only input text, we will not get the label. Whenever we are saying input field, what is happening? The field label followed by box we are getting. Am I right or wrong? Whenever I say input field, let me show you an example of it. Whenever I say input field, what I told, input field account dot name. Now go back. We are getting the label followed by box. But whenever we are saying input text, are you getting the label like this? No, right? Only box it is created. Boss, if you are referring to the field from any particular object, the field label also will come. When you are not referring to any particular field, only the box will be printed. If you are trying to refer to any particular field, then we are going to get the label followed by box. We are going to get label followed by box. If you are not referring to a field, then we are only going to get box. Okay, that is the reason. What did I do? I took output label. Output label is giving label and input text is getting box. But the problem here is, if I was taking output label and input text, label is coming at one corner, the input text is coming at one corner. Now I want both of them to be displayed together. Why they are coming at different corners? Because page block section says only one element in one column. Page block section says only one element in one column. One element means once I open till I close, it is called one element. Page block section says only one element in one column. So what is happening? Once I open the component till I close, it is called one component. So this is one component, this is another component, third component, fourth component. I hope you are getting. So whatever I say, page block section, in every column of the page block section, one element will be displayed. In every column of the page block section, one element will be displayed. In every column of the page block section, one element will be displayed. Let us come back to the story. Now, but what is your requirement? Label and box both should be together. So here is an example. Page block. We had a page block. So we are going to have page block section. Divide the row into number of. This we got. So what page block section will do? Divide the row into number of. More. So each one is one column. Within the page we have page Within the page, page block. Within the page block, we have a page block section. In the page block section, we have number of columns. In each column, this is a column. In each column, I am giving page block section. So, what is a page block section item? It is a child of page block section. It is a child of page block section. In the page, we have page block. In the page block, we have page block section. In the page block section, we have page block section item. In the page, we have page block. In the page block, we have page block section. In the page block section, we have page block section item. In the page, we have page block. In the page block, we have page block section. In the page block section, we have section item. Now, page block section item will be displayed in one column. Page block section item will be displayed in one column of page block. Page block section item will be displayed in one column of. Look at this. This is how we go. So what we are doing? Page block section item will be displayed in every column of page block section. In one column, one page block section item. In the page block section item, I can have at max 2. Within the page block section item, how many chain elements I can have? 2. So output. I hope you are good with this. Within the page block section item, how many chain elements I can have? 2 chain elements. Within the page block section item, how many chain elements we can have? 2 chain elements. Apex. I hope you are good with this, right? So what is happening? In the page we have page block. In the page block we have page block section. In the page block section we have page block section item. Within the page block section item, how many chain elements we can have? 2 chain elements. Now let me display this example. Now I am taking page block. Okay, let me. Page block section item. Output table. Value. No. So look at the point. Same whatever I given on the top, but here I give you page block section. Within the page block section, what I give? Page block section item. Page block. Within the page block we have page block section item. Within the page block we have page block section item. Let me show you this. Look at the one, name, input text. But whereas here, are you getting both of them together? Why are you getting both of them together? In each column, one page block section item will be displayed. In each column of page block, one page block section item will be displayed. In each section item, how many chains we have? 2 chain elements. In each page block, in the each column of the page block section, one page block section item will be displayed. In each column of the page block section, in each column of the page block section, in each column of the page block section item will be displayed. Within the section item, we have 2 column, two chain elements. Every page block section item will be displayed. Every page block section item will be displayed in one column of page block section. Right, within the page block section item, how many elements we can take? 2 elements. Every page block section item can have 2 chain elements at max. It is not necessary that you should have 2. Maximum you can take 2. Page, once again I repeat the points. So how are you taking? First we have page. Within the page we have within the page block I have taken within the page block section we are taking I can take 2. Is that was clear? In the page we have page block. In the page block we have page block section. In the page block section we have page block section item. Within the page block section item we have 2 chain elements. As I want label and input to be together, I was putting them in the page block section item. Is that was clear for everyone? Right? Okay. Now let us go back. Design this example, everyone. In the page block section, I can give columns equal to 1. When I say columns equal to 1, for row we are going to get only 1 column. Now create this example. Create this example, all of you. Please mute your mic, Sima. So all of you first start with section header. Everyone design the section header. So we have title and a subtitle. The next, create a form. Right. Then what we are supposed to create? Page block with a page block title and command buttons. Create a page block with the title and command buttons. Command button. So we had got page block buttons, location equal to top, command button, value equal to save, command button, value equal to cancel. This is to create the buttons. Then we had page block, page block section, columns equal to 1. Then within the page block section, first let me show the output till here. This is our student registration buttons. We got here. We got here page block section. What is the info we got? Basic. We got here page block section, basic info. Right? Page block section, basic info. Then what I was trying to do? Within the page block section, I was supposed to take output level. Input text. Similarly, I have page block section item. Every section item will be printed in one column. Open the page block section item. Enter the output label, input text, close the page block section item. So choose this page block section. Within the page block section, we have taken page block section item. We got a page block section. Within the page block section, we have taken a page block section item. Within the page block section item, I can have at max 2 elements. Within the page block section item, at max I can have 2 elements. Within the page block section item, at max we can have 2 elements. Within the page block section item, at max we can have 2 elements. So page block, in the page block we have page block section. Within the page block section we have page block section item. Page block section, page block section item. Page block section. Within the page block section we have page block section item. Within the section item we can have 2 elements. I opened a label, closed a label. Opened a text, closed a text. I hope you are good with this. I hope you are good with this. Any query from your end? Any query from your end? Now look at the final output what we received. This is how we got it here. New student, student registration, last name, first name, phone. Now the point is, after you created this, I am going to enter the data. Where is the data stored? You entered a last name, you entered a first name, you entered a phone number. After I enter, where is the data stored? Where is the data stored? To store the data, I need some variables. Where will you create variables? I need Apex class. Right. Now when you are creating a custom pages, whatever the data we entered, to hold the data, we require a class. We require what? Apex class. I hope you are getting my point. Is that was clear? Everyone is clear with this example? Right? Can you maintain? No. One page block section item will be printed in one column of page block section. Column concept will come only for page block section. Okay. In the page block section item, we don't have a column concept. Only the point is, one page block section item will be printed in one column of page block section. Is that was clear for everyone? Everyone has followed this? Right, Emma? Right? Any other queries from your end on these topics? So now we are supposed to